Hey guys, today I'll be showing you some gameplay and a review on the newly added tank, the M6a2e1, or otherwise known as the Mutant. Now, if you're considering about buying this tank but you're not sure, I would definitely recommend it. It's fun to play, as well as fun to have. It's rare, it's collectible, and it can get those American crews up to higher skills, and it doesn't cost nearly as much as other ones, such as the T-34, IS-6, Luva, so on. So for the price you're paying, you get a very fun tank, and without a question, you'll enjoy it. Alright, so sit back, relax, and watch this replay, and afterwards I'll be giving you a full in-depth review of this tank and why you should consider buying it. M6 tank does, as well as having a prototype T29 turret with the same gun as the T32. Now in terms of armor, it has great armor. There isn't really any frontal weak spots apart from the turret ring and maybe the cupola, but overall the armor is very good frontally. Now for the sides, they're pretty thin. The hull is only around 44 millimeters and the turret's 89, so it can be easily penned. Moving on to the back I believe is the same as the sides, 44 millimeters. However, the rear of the turret, similar to the T32, actually has the most armor on the tank, measuring at 203 millimeters. So if you're flanking this thing in the back, don't shoot the back of the turret. Now, a couple things to remember if you are going to purchase this tank before it is unavailable for who knows how long. A couple things to consider is it's not invincible. This hatch in the front, as well as the cupola, can be penned and is obviously a weak spot, as well as these sort of side angled plates. So when you're angling, it's really hard because if you're close enough, they're just going to shoot for these angled plates and not your front. So that's something you got to watch out for. As well as this isn't the newest version of this tank, if you want to put it that way. So the armor isn't smoothed out and made as an angle. And the turret isn't as thick as it would be in the PC version, so that's something to consider. However, since so many people have bought this tank, it's more than likely that they're going to add that soon, so you don't have to worry. Now going over its stats, it's got an engine power of 960 horsepower, making it has good acceleration, has the same gun as the T32 heavy tank, with a little bit less rate of fire, 5.05 rounds a minute. Has 198 penetration, AP, 245 APCR, and 53 HE, as well as having 320 damage for both the AP and the APCR rounds, and having 420 for the HE. Its aiming time is 2.28, which is not fantastic, and its accuracy is 0.41, so it's not incredibly accurate in terms of the gun. The traverse speed in degrees, 24 degrees a second. Not amazing, but it's good if you're at a medium distance. However, if you're too close, you risk being flanked, as you can't turn fast enough. So I've died quite a few times that way. Now the turret armor is 191 in the front, 89 in the side, and 208 the rear, as well as having a traverse speed of 23 degrees a second and having a view range of 380 meters. Its signal range is 570 meters. Now in terms of equipment, I haven't purchased much yet, but if you are going to purchase equipment for this tank, I definitely recommend the large caliber tank rammer, as it can decrease that average shell time of being around 11 and a half seconds, I believe, and getting that down hopefully more towards 10, so it makes it more reasonable, as well as getting the enhanced gun lane drive to kind of increase that aiming speed, because it's not fast as it is. And I would also recommend coated optics as well. Now I have a wet ammo rack on there. That's just kind of my personal preference. Before, I just wanted to test how I like this tank before I bought more equipment for it. But I find this tank, you do get ammoed a lot, so your loader gets hit quite a bit. So that's just something to consider. Price. So this tank, I bought the least expensive one I would recommend doing the same. Sure, if you want the improved equipment, go for that. But for a much lower price, you can get the same tank. And at the end of the day, you can always earn silver. So that's just the way that I think of it. That's it, I believe. So we'll just quickly take a look here at the T32. So the T32's top gun has 198 penetration, as well as having 320 damage with a rate of fire 5.66, accuracy 0.4, aiming time 2.29. So as comparing the gun, it's definitely slightly worse than the T32, but it's definitely, for this tier level, even in tier 8, it does fine. So I'd recommend this tank to someone who enjoys it's a unique tank. So if you're a collector like myself, I like tanks like the TOG, that sort of thing. If you like those kind of tanks, this is probably for you, as well as it's fun to play in platoons. Also, if you have an American line you're going down, it's easy to grind through that. And if you want to make a lot of silver, this thing makes a decent amount of silver. Now, why would you consider this thing over the T34? Well, one simple thing, actually a few simple things. When I went to buy the Mutant, I actually considered this tank quite a bit. However, as you look, it has weaker hull armor and it is not fast by any standard. As well as how I looked at it, the T34 it is a good tank, and it's not really that similar, but it does share a lot of the same characteristics with the T32. Apart from this, the fact this is a better gun and a larger turret. So that's just my thinking right there. Alright, so I hope you guys found this review helpful. And if you guys have anything you want me to do next, I got my AT7 here. If you want me to do a video on that, just leave a comment in the description. Sorry, leave a comment, and I'll do that soon. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.